welcome back to You Loving Life. I hope you're loving your life and I hope that you're not being spiritually attacked. However, if you are, I have some helpful information that I've learned and I'm excited to share with you today. I'm going to explain ways in which you can feel or know or see or hear if you're being spiritually attacked and what you can do about it. Anyone, everyone can do about it, and it works. Also, I'm going to tell you how to recognize which dimension you're actually in if the spiritual attack is happening in your sleep, okay, in the dream world or soul travel, so that you will know where to go and where not to go. Now, you might not be lucid when you're dreaming, but I can still give you some advice about how to go to sleep for the least spiritual attacks, okay? Like what you can do so that you won't have that experience again, okay? Because this is real. And, people say, well, what is a spiritual attack? And I would say that even when someone is thinking negative thoughts about you, they're sending you bad energy, that can be considered a spiritual attack. We're all connected. So we feel what other people are saying, thinking, and doing because we're connected to them, because we're all sparks of all that is, which means we're all related. Okay. So if you are clairsentient, that means that you have these kind of feelings about things happening. You might feel like something's off, or you feel like a little tickle up your spine, or you feel pressure on your body, or you just feel crabby for no reason, or something's upsetting to you and you can't put your finger on it because everything in your life's going great. That is one way that you might be feeling into a spiritual attack. Okay. Another way could be that you are clairvoyant. So you might see what people call ghosts, which basically are disembodied humans or others, right? That no longer are in their body and you can see their form. It is kind of like see-through and ethereal like, but it's still a soul, but without their body. Or you might see orbs floating around, like sparkly colors of light, and some are good and some are helpful, especially the white and the yellow and the blue ones, but some are not. So if you're seeing something that you don't feel comfortable around, that might be the sign of a spiritual attack. Or you might see kind of a blob of energy. Imagine a rainbow, but it doesn't have to have all the colors. So one color kind of just floating about. And you've had your eyes checked and you know you don't have an eye problem and you're clairvoyant, right? So then you know someone or something is scanning you. Okay. There's so many other ways that you can experience clairvoyance, but those are a few that are most common. So you might be knowing that you're being attacked or watched by that. Or you could be I said sentient, clairvoyant. Now we're on to clairaudient. So you might hear a whisper in your ear and you're like, what was that? Or a buzzing, like, like almost tinnitus, like in one ear or the other. And, or you could even hear someone saying a word. This could happen whilst you're awake or in the dream world. Now, I want to explain the different planes of existence, also known as dimensions or heavens, briefly here, just so you have an idea that when you go to sleep, this is a time where you may be more likely to be spiritually attacked, right? Especially if you're not lucid during your soul travel experiences. Because when we go to sleep, we actually do leave our body and we travel to different dimensions. So if we can become lucid and aware, then we can shut those attacks down. But some of us are not. So the best thing you can do before you go to sleep is to open your heart in love and ask your spirit guide of choice. So if you want to simply talk to God or Jesus or Mohammed, Buddha, I like to ask the Sugmad, Ek, and Mahanta because I'm an Ekist now after being in 5 religions, and I ask for their spiritual protection. So that's something you can do. And raising your vibe to the highest possible point you can is also most helpful. So when you go to sleep, you're already in a good place. So you're probably going to bypass the place I'm going to talk about. So I have noticed that there are different, obviously, planes of existence that we go through, and they all have different varying levels and degrees. So we're in the physical when we're aware of our body, right? And the corresponding sound is thunder. So sometimes you might actually hear something. There was one night I was in my room and I kept looking at my crystal next to my bed because I kept hearing this tinkling bells. And I was like, what is my crystal talking to me? I didn't understand at the time that that was an indication that I was going to be taking a trip to the causal plane, which is two above the physical. And it's where the Akashic records are stored and past lives. So I did actually have a dream soul travel experience about my past lives. Okay. So that was an indication I was headed towards the causal plane that night. But the astral plane is before it. So we've got physical, then the astral is between the causal and the physical. So physical, astral, causal. Now, these are all in the lower worlds where there is dichotomy. So you could be spiritually attacked in those. And then there's the mental and etheric. These are all below the pure love worlds where spiritual attacks don't happen, as far as I'm concerned, and no, my knowledge base. It is truly only possible where the dichotomy exists, where the lessons are learned in the physical, astral, causal, mental, etheric realms or dimensions or heavens. Now, some people get to the astral realm and they think they're in heaven, that's it, but there are more. So let's talk about the sound of the astral. It is the roaring, I can say that word, of the sea. Roaring of the sea. I don't know why I can't say that word today. Anyway, if you're in the astral, there are different parts of the astral. The lowest part of the astral is creepy, just FYI. And I have noticed that I get spiritually attacked if I stick around there. I might see someone I know in the lower astral just kind of walking around and doing stuff. And I'm like, oh, I'll go say hi. No, don't say hi. No, don't go into that dance club and dance because you feel like dancing. If it is a dark area, and I'm not kidding, you can't make this stuff up, with a red glow, that is where I have been spiritually attacked the most, where lower vibrational beings, people, even some from my past, try to corner me. And it's usually with a dark place with a red glow. So once you figure this out, you just don't go there. Okay. I have also asked for spiritual help instantly in the soul travel experience whilst my body's asleep, because I'm awake when I go to sleep now and often, and I ask for that spiritual help, and then I'm helped immediately. I had a very strange experience last night where I was not in the lower astral. I was not in the place that I was normally spiritually attacked. So they up their game if you figure them out. But here's what happened. It wasn't even so much a spiritual attack as it was a person from my past visiting me that I really don't want to ever have anything to do with. Again, I wish that person well, but not interested. So this person showed up, and in between us was a huge orb, which was the current living Eckmaster. It was the blue one, so I knew it was him. And this person said, I saw it and he saw it. And I was like, oh, you see that too? And then it said, well, take care of yourself and goodbye. So I felt like, because I've asked so many times for spiritual protection, that I didn't even have to ask this time. He was just there. I was so happy. So, you guys, if you really ask for protection before you go to sleep, okay, then it comes. And it doesn't matter if it's, the current living Eckmaster for me and for Eckes, and you too, if you want his help, he will help you, because it's not a religion, but you can ask for anyone you feel comfortable with, so ask Jesus before you go to sleep, ask Mohammed, ask Buddha. I love Prajapati, he's the animal person, Krishna, etc. Ask whomever. All right. Milarepa, that's another one from the past that just came out of my head. I don't know why. Yahweh Sakabi. Ask them. They exist and they will help you. Or you can even ask the angels, right? all those archangels or the Ek masters are beautiful beings. And so you can get that before you go to sleep. And then if you see yourself in, like, I've been asked so many times in the past week, why don't you come this way with me? No, thanks. Because why? Because I could see it was darker. Where do you want to be? You want to be in the sunshine. You want to be by water. You want to be in the higher planes of existence, not the lower ones where they can drain your energy. I had another experience where I was waking up in a bed in another plane of existence, and three entities were surrounding me. I was completely lucid during this, but it's not cool because I was just coming from a different soul travel experience. So they get you when you're coming out of sleep too. But don't be afraid because love kind of repels them, honestly. And the minute you think of or call your spirit guide team, they were thrown against the wall and out. So, like, don't be afraid is the whole message I think that's most important. The takeaway from this is have love in your heart. Ask those guides and helpers because those are the ones who will protect you. And don't go to the place that has the red glow. I don't think it's hell because I don't know what I believe about that. I think that we all create our own hell by the choices that we make. So someone could be living in a beautiful mansion and be in hell. It's not like necessarily a place, but there are lower places that are creepier and darker. And I think that if you can just avoid them, then you're less likely to be spiritually attacked. Now, the other correlating sounds are as follows. So we've got physical thunder, astral, the seat of emotions of the astral plane, is the roar of the sea. Then we have the causal plane, which is the tinkling of the bells, not my crystals, apparently. And the mental is running water. And the etheric is the buzzing of the bees. So if you're having a soul travel experience where you hear buzzing of bees, that means you're on the subconscious level. You're almost in the pure love planes, fifth dimension and above. Fifth dimension is where you want to be. If anyone tells you the fifth dimension is bad, they're working for the dark forces. Okay. The fifth dimension is where you want to be. Someone once told me, don't go to the fifth, don't go to the fifth. Oh my gosh. Yeah, obviously, that was a person who wanted to keep me down. No, fifth is yes. Fifth is yes. Fifth is love. Go to the fifth. The fifth dimension is love and above. Love and above. Fifth and above is love and above. So the corresponding sound is the single note of a flute. The sixth is heavy wind. I once had that experience. That was incredible. It's a cleansing experience. If you ever hear wind, you're being cleansed. Seventh is deep humming. Eighth is the thousand violins. Ninth is the woodwinds. And 10th is a whirlpool. And the dimensions never end, they're infinite. So we always have somewhere else to learn and to grow and to go, which is incredible. So we can always expand in different forms through eternity because we're having a temporary human experience now. But listen closely and hear this. You do not have to allow yourself to be attacked. You're in charge. You're in charge. You're in charge. When you own that, because you're so powerful, then anything that comes at you, it's just kind of like I almost feel sorry for these beings that sometimes attack me. It's like when you have so much love and they want to vamp off of you because you have so much light and love in you, you're a loving person. You don't want harm on anyone, even them. You don't want to harm them. You want to love them, but they're just babies. So, and they're misguided right now. So when you have that much love, you're safe. So go to sleep with love in your heart. Then you're going to bypass the lower astral. And remember, don't go to the darker rooms with the red light. And most importantly, ask the guide of choice to intervene before you even go to sleep and to protect you. Put a bubble of light around you. I like reverse mirrors too. And some people are like, why are you telling your secrets? It's because everyone should know this. And quite frankly, they can become as creative as they want to, but God is more creative, period. So good luck with that, not right? So if you're being spiritually attacked, re-listen to this video because it's layered. There's lots of different things in it, and I know it will help you. I love you so much. Love yourself so much and become a ball of light. Don't dim your light because you're afraid of being attacked in the physical. Even be yourself. be yourself. And quite frankly, and truly, I have had experiences walking through the lower astral on purpose, on purpose to get and help others from continuing stupid paths. Okay. And to any of the people, beings, energy vamps that attacked me or tried to, um, 19 of them ran away because I just opened my heart in so much love. And one of them stayed and wanted help. And we held hands and I walked him with him and we talked. And, I hope that he's doing well wherever he is, whoever he is. But the other 19 couldn't take it. If you go to sleep with so much love, you will be protected, and keep that love going throughout the day. Recharge the love, plug the love battery in. Okay. I think I'm done. Have a beautiful day, you guys. Lots of love. Mwah.